I, Ronald Reagan, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States.
that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States
And will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
From 2 minutes in length to 2 hours in length, American presidents have been delivering inaugural speeches with the universal goal of creating a memorable message. In this video podcast, we take a look at Ronald Reagan's 2 presidential inaugural addresses and see how his words still ring true today. When George Washington was being given the oath of office, he extemporaneously added the 4 words, "So help me God," at the end of his oath. It has since been used to conclude every presidential oath of office, with the exception of Teddy Roosevelt, who instead chose to use, "and thus I swear." The Bible that George Washington used for his inauguration has since been used for the inaugurations of Warren Harding, Dwight Eisenhower, Jimmy Carter, and George H.W. Bush. Ronald Reagan, however, chose to use his mother's Bible for both of his gubernatorial and presidential inaugurations. This Bible was also just used for the swearing in of Vice President Mike Pence. The Bible, which is now on permanent display at the Reagan Library, is currently open to the 7th chapter, 14th verse of 2 Chronicles. "If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven, and will forgive their sin, and will heal their land." Next to those words his mother had written, a most wonderful verse for the healing of nations.
I'm told that tens of thousands of prayer meetings are being held on this day. And for that, I'm deeply grateful. We are a nation under God, and I believe God intended for us to be free. It would be fitting and good, I think, if on each inaugural day in future years, it should be declared a day of prayer.
For his first presidential inaugural speech, Ronald Reagan worked with speechwriter Ken Kachigian. They first met to discuss the speech on December 16, 1980. Ronald Reagan had already written out an outline as well as speech cards with key principles and excerpts for consideration. Ken prepared a draft which included the themes that Ronald Reagan spoke about on the campaign trail, including that the U.S. government was of the people, by the people, and for the people.
So as we begin, let us take inventory. We are a nation that has a government, not the other way around. And this makes us special among the nations of the earth. Our government has no power except that granted it by the people. It is time to check and reverse the growth of government, which shows signs of having grown beyond the consent of the governed.
Ronald Reagan liked the draft that Ken Kachigian had written, but found it too flowery, so he took out his yellow pad and rewrote it, creating an almost entirely new speech. This longhand version on yellow legal pad now resides in the Reagan Library archives.
It is time for us to realize that we're too great a nation to limit ourselves to small dreams. We're not, as some would have us believe, doomed to an inevitable decline. I do not believe in a fate that will fall on us no matter what we do. I do believe in a fate that will fall on us if we do nothing. So with all the creative energy at our command, let us begin an era of national renewal. Let us renew our determination, our courage, and our strength. And let us renew our faith and our hope.
By 1985, President Reagan's speechwriting process had changed, advanced by working with the White House Speechwriter's Office over the previous 4 years. As a result of these relationships, when preparing for his second inaugural speech, he met with teams of writers and gave them his top priorities. The writers included Tony Dolan, Peggy Noonan, Ben Elliott, and Peter Rusthoven. President Reagan also prepared a draft himself. Tony Dolan later commented, "Reagan really was his own best speechwriter."
The time has come for a new American emancipation, a great national drive to tear down economic barriers and liberate the spirit of enterprise in the most distressed areas of our country. My friends, together we can do this, and do it we must, so help me God.
As for the address itself, many said it did not meet the urgency or hard-edged clarity of his first inaugural. Some even considered it bland. But the words that were consistent with the Cold Warrior's policy continued an attack on nuclear weapons. For his steady, relentless pursuit to not just reduce but to eliminate nuclear weapons, this is where the second inaugural shines.
I have approved a research program to find, if we can, a security shield that will destroy nuclear missiles before they reach their target. it would render nuclear weapons obsolete. We will meet with the Soviets hoping that we can agree on a way to rid the world of the threat of nuclear destruction.
11 months later, President Reagan would sit down with Mikhail Gorbachev in Geneva, setting a course to change history.
It does require, however, our best effort and our willingness to believe in ourselves and to believe in our capacity to perform great deeds, to believe that together, with God's help, we can and will resolve the problems which now confront us. And after all, why shouldn't we believe that? We are Americans. God bless you and thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed this Inside the Reagan Library video. See you soon.